It would also be a cool idea if I show you some really old pictures from my family heritage here, just to kind of look at some hair loss patterns or whatnot. I'm going to go back to the oldest photo, which was taken place in 1919. So this is almost 100 years ago, this photo. This is my great-grandfather on the Italian side. He was born in Italy, Giuseppe Mettello, and his wife, Marie Veit, which I guess it was also Italian. She was born in Italy. But look at that hairline. He was right at about 30 at this age. Look how tight, look how close that hairline is. I mean, to me, that's not even Norwood 1. That's how my hairline was when I was a teenager. Well, and I just made a video showing you my hairline when I was like 14 going on 15. That's how my hairline looked then. Actually, his hair looks even tighter than that. That's like David Schwimmer hairline. That's my great-grandfather. But when he died in 83, and he was like in his 90s, he was completely bald. But that was him at 30. So, I mean, he lost a lot of hair from age 30, with that hairline to going completely bald on top by the time he died in 1983, of course, in his 90s. So, now, here is a picture in 1983 from his funeral. All of his remaining children. That's my grandfather right there in 1983. And that's his youngest brother. Look at that. And that hairline is even lower. That's like even tighter than David Schwimmer. But then he also had a brother that was completely bald. So out of the brothers here, you have a little bit of mixed bag of everything as far as hair loss goes. But I mean, look how tight that hairline was. And this uncle here, the youngest one that I'm referring to right there, he would have been, I guess, probably early 50s by that point in 1983. But just look at that hairline. That's so tight. And, of course, that's my own grandfather right there. So, all right, one more picture. This is the Mexican side of the family. And this is the Mendez. By the way, these are the Mettellos. All right, but the Mendez, this little girl right here is my grandmother who passed away. The little girl in the white dress right there. That's my great-grandmother. And that's my great-grandfather on the Mexican side. So he had, I mean, assuming he was in his probably mid-30s at this point, he was barely Norwood too, maybe. So that was how that side of the family was. So that, I mean, it's when you look at all these pictures, you just see really a mixed bag of everything as far as hairlines go. I mean, you've got such tight hairlines. But then you've also got men that went completely bald on that same side of the family. And I think this picture indicates that very clearly. So going from my grandfather, who was kind of in the middle of it all, literally, in this picture and in the hair loss. Then we had his brother completely bald. And then his youngest brother, look at that hairline. And this guy was in his 50s at the time. He's still alive today in Florida. He's one of the few that are still alive out of this picture. So, as you know, I am doing the MyHeritage.com ethnicity test, DNA test. So by September 1st, we'll know exactly the heritage. Because even though I say they're Italian, the grandmother Veit, she was born in Italy, but I don't know for sure she was actually Italian. So I think it's exciting. Thanks for sharing this journey with me.